This television show changed our marriage. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely crazy when you find out this one question that took us from blaming to understanding. Find out what it is today, up next. Well, welcome everyone to the Home to Haven podcast. It is a wonderful, wonderful day, and we are so excited that you are here with us. Thanks for clicking. Thanks for downloading. They call us the Turners, and this is your home for faith-filled content that will help you communicate in your relationships. If you get anything out of our conversation today, before you click off, give us that thumbs up. It would go a long way to help us reach more and more people just like you.
That's right. Subscribe to our channel. Get every episode. Let us know what content you like to hear about.
Let us know what content you like to hear.
Give us some feedback. We love to
topics.
hear messages from you all, so keep it coming.
There's a lot going on. We have our Home to Haven playlist on our YouTube channel. This is the podcast where we talk about communication. There is our Travel with the Turners, and that is where you get to see us kind of behind the scenes, kind of living life as normal people, but also communicating as we interact as real people. There is Plan With Me.
Plan With Me. Yes. Plan With Me is a new playlist that we've added to our Home to Haven YouTube channel, but that will dive a little bit deeper into the planet part of our Pray It, Plan It, Pursue It. And we'll be talking all about how to actively and purposely and practically plan out all of the things we talk about a lot on the podcast and the pursuing part of pursuing your relationship. If
you don't know what she just said, Pray It, Plan It, and Pursue It is our 3-part framework. It's what we believe is what we believe how success happens for every single couple. If you will pray it, then you can plan it. And after you plan it, then you can pursue it.
That's right.
That's how you accomplish things in life. So that's our 3-part framework. Very simple for you to remember. Pray it, plan it, and pursue it. So thank you again for listening. We're going to dive right in. It's going to be a different kind of podcast. I'm going to lead it today a little bit because I was watching a show.
Okay.
And you may think it's smut or like, oh my gosh, what are those people doing watching that kind of show? But
which is true. Very true. But keep going.
It is a little smitty.
Okay.
A little Smith in there. Yeah. But I watch it because it is real people. Mm-hmm. And even though it's reality television, as someone who produced reality television, I can tell you, yes, producers are going to put people in places for drama to happen.
Right.
We're going to put you in positions to get story.
They want the drama.
We want the drama, but at the same time, you're going to forget about the cameras, and the reactions are real. Mm-hmm. The dialogue is real.
The people are real.
The people are real. Right. The context might be fake.
True.
Or highly exaggerated.
Right.
But I look at it because you can still see, okay, and take away, that was good communication. That was terrible communication. And so the show that we're talking about is Temptation Island. If you don't watch the smut, then this show is actually couples will go on an island.
Gotcha.
Because they're at a point in their relationship where they're trying to figure out, do we stay together or do we break up? Like, are we good for each other?
Okay.
So instead of like going to counseling, they choose to go on an island.
A reality TV show. With lots of other people.
In their prime.
Okay.
To see if they can not cheat on their spouse.
Okay.
Or work out some other things. Like,
gotcha.
What are the problems with our relationship? Maybe somebody, whatever it is. So that's the premise of this show.
Okay.
Which I can understand why people would probably not want to watch it because you like tearing up relationships. But I would probably say most times you find out they don't really need to be together anyway.
Okay.
And it's also not promoting wholesome,
Christian content.
Values of one man and one woman. But okay. For the lack of better words. All that aside, I want to take an episode because basically in the grand finale or the final bonfire, basically they go on separate parts of the island and the girl's over here, the guy's over there.
Okay.
And they don't see one another for however many weeks it is.
But they're tempting each other, right?
They're being tempted or working out their own journey, as they call it.
Got it. Okay.
Right? And so once a week or a few times a week, however many times when they film it, they have what's called a bonfire.
Okay.
Where they see video clips of their significant other on their time on the island.
Things, right. Okay.
Most times the dudes are always like in a room somewhere messing up.
Okay.
And the girls are crying.
And I think they also highly produce it to make it look like
for sure
some things are happening, and it might
and
not
that's where
be
that's where the producing part
reality
comes
right.
in with reality TV, because I'm going to provoke, like I want to see tears.
Yeah.
I want to see you react.
Let's cut it off right here so you don't see what he said next,
Exactly.
but you just see the first part.
He was like, I really hate it when I hate this, and she thinks he said he hates her, and that's not what he said.
Exactly.
Or
out of context.
Right. Maybe they
provoking the fire.
Maybe he was sleeping in the bed and some girl came in the room and they cut it off, and they don't show the part where he's like, "Get out! I love my girlfriend."
Exactly.
So it's reality TV. Right. But let me get to it, because everybody's like, "Get to the point." I want to play a clip because it's the final bonfire.
Okay.
And the whole point of this is communication, right? The whole point is, how do we talk to one another? How do we get here? What did we learn? Because I do learn some things. And so there is a final bonfire, and this couple was very toxic.
Okay.
And I see this a lot, where the woman is very educated. She is established in her career. She might be making more money than the guy is. And so, she's got some things going on for herself, and she's trying to push, or she's trying to, quote unquote, encourage her spouse to get a job or to do something else. And it's very important to see how we communicate that. Like, what you may think is encouraging might not be encouraging to me.
Across, right.
Might be putting me down. And then I want to play kind of what happens before, and then what happens after the counselor kind of steps in. Okay.
We got it. We got the premise. And so now we're going to hear a clip.
We're going to hear a clip.
Okay.
Let me get my mic in. We're going to hear a clip. I'm going to put my headphones in. For those of you who are listening, you probably can't see all this, but we're going to put our headphones in so I can play this clip and we can hear it. And then I'll pause it and we'll come back in.
Sorry you're not taking it that way, but I think that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm sorry that I was too abrasive. I may have been too assertive, whatever it may be.
I'm not saying
I
that.
was trying my hardest. You have not had a job in almost a year. A year, Tyler.
So, let's get this job thing out of the way, okay? I have never shown that I am lacking or in a bad position, and I've tried to shift my focus and pick myself up, as you said I should as a man. But I am seeing now that you think that I am the problem.
I am worried about you.
But I want you to trust me that I can see it through. And I know that you think that's getting in the way, but to me, that's what I want to pursue. And I am taking risks right now. And you're in a situation where you don't want to take a risk on me. And that is what I saw.
I have taken such a risk this entire time. I said, Tyler, what will put my mind at ease is just an action plan. Let's make a 3-5 year. I need a plan, and I will shut the up. Did you ever come to me with a plan?
Okay, I'll pause it right there for a quick, and then we'll come back with one more thing. Just quickly comment on what you've heard so far.
Well, one thing that I noticed is like they're actually not raising their voices at each other.
Okay.
They are speaking back and forth.
Right.
Each person is saying, you did this, or I haven't seen you do this, or you want this and I'm not there.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So they're both trying to communicate their side of the story because they believe the other person isn't seeing what they are seeing or experience in the relationship.
Okay. And then part of this is because they are not allowed to interrupt.
Okay.
Which
so
they
they're
still
teaching them.
Which they're still doing a pretty good job of not interrupting.
Yeah, they're doing a decent job.
Okay. What's going to happen now is they're going to get interrupted. And then he's going to say, hey, you guys have been talking about you're doing this, you're not doing this. You should do this and you shouldn't do this. And I don't want to do this. He says, hey, why don't we stop for a moment? Let's pause. And why don't we try saying, I feel this way when this happens. Let's try that.
Okay.
And then here's what happens.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. I feel very undervalued, and I do feel pushed because of your agendas, where you want to go in life and how you want safety and security because of what you've been through. So I feel, especially after, my divorce and what happened there, that was a big hit on my ego and feeling undervalued or just not enough. So when you give me that encouragement, it makes me feel, honestly, I think it goes to a core emotion, very sad. I love the love for you wanting to push me, but that is not the direction I want to be pushed in. And so it just makes me feel essentially worthless for what you need in life.
I feel unsafe and unstable, and you hit the nail on the head saying that this is from my past. A lot of the times where I do try to encourage you, it reflects on me negative because I do things for survival. I wish I could get out of the fight or flight. It makes me feel sad that I can't get out of it, but I feel like through this experience, I've been able to get out of it. And it just, I just feel kind of like hopeless with you because I feel like I try to do so much and figure out the way to say things and move and stuff like that, and it's just not well received, and it makes you feel the way that you're feeling. And I never want to make you feel worthless. And it just makes me feel so gutted because you were my home. You were my safe place from the entire world. And I just want that with you so bad, Tyler. And that's why this experience is really gutting, and to see you falling in love with someone else, but all along I just wanted you to fall in love with me.
All right, reactions? What do we think?
So it obviously helped them a lot to have that prompt of, okay, let's stop saying what you see.
Right.
And let's start explaining how you feel. And
it was a completely different conversation. Like it just changed.
Right.
And they were nodding and emotion came out.
Yes.
Both of them got teary-eyed.
Right. I feel like that prompt of let's talk to your partner about how you feel, like
right.
took it from just the surface level of
right.
actions or reactions.
Right.
And it took it to like, okay, let's go beneath the
let's
surface.
Go deep. Right.
Let's get deeper and actually get to the heart of things, because those reactions or those actions are stemming from something.
Correct.
Stemming from, and they say it as their emotions or how they feel, but it really is the underlying issue or what's really the problem in their relationship, what's not working.
Yeah. So, what was the core of the issue is that, okay, he's being pushed away and he's running away because he's feeling worthless.
Right.
And he's feeling worthless because she's saying, you need to do this, you need that, and it's emasculating him.
Right.
She's feeling unsafe and insecure because he's not providing X, Y, Z for her. And it's based upon things that she's felt in her past.
Right.
Again, past experiences.
Right.
And so those are things that 100% affect relationships and hinder our communication.
Right. And I think it was important because she was trying to fix a problem.
Right.
But they never talked about why the problem was there or how it was hurting their relationship because of, like they said, their feelings, but really the underlying issue of what was going on. She wasn't feeling safe. She wasn't feeling secure. So she was taking this step, which she thought would help solve the problem.
Right. And it's made it worse.
But for him, it caused negative feelings because his underlying issue was he didn't, his pride was hurting. Like his ego was
100%
shattered because of his past as well. He mentioned they both had past things that they were bringing into the relationship, but their actions, maybe because they didn't have a heart to heart talk of, hey, we're on the same team. What do we actually need as a couple versus what I see as a problem and I'm going to try to fix it my way. What I see as a problem, I'm trying to fix it my way. And so they're not coming together and really getting to the root of the issue that they have.
Yeah. The line that really gutted me was, all this time I watched you fall in love with somebody else and I'm wanting to fall in love with me.
Yeah.
And that's like, what a powerful line, because the relationship now has gone beyond repair. And had they had this conversation before of this is making me feel this way, when this happens, I feel this versus you, then maybe that relationship could have been salvaged. You never know.
Yeah.
But it's very, very powerful. So the language that we use, the words that we say definitely have weight with our partners. And so it's important that we don't just throw things away, that we really dig deeper.
Right. 100%.
And we are vulnerable, and we express, hey, when this happens, or when this is said, when I hear this, when I see this affects me XYZ way, and really bring them into our world to have them understand, like, hey, this has an effect on me in a negative way.
And I think that's so eye-opening for the other person. You've actually put this into practice, like in our relationship. So you'll say, I felt, blank when this happened, or when you did this. And it's always, they have the same reaction as, I never meant or wanted you to feel this way. Like in their example, she was like, I never wanted you to feel worthless or undeserving. And I know I've said, like, I would never want you to feel disrespected or not respected. So it's not coming from like ill intent in these situations. Like the person isn't maliciously trying to hurt the relationship, but
Most
when
times.
that conversation isn't had between the people, like it's not known. And so it's not coming to light in order to actually get to that real issue of the problem to try to solve it.
Like you said, it's something that I had to believe. Like I have to believe, like, okay, Jennifer is not trying to, with intent, disrespect me. I have to believe that, okay, she does love me. 99% of the time she is respecting me. So in these one-off situations, it's most of the time a breakdown of communication or a miscommunication, a misfire.
Right.
So let's come together. Let's talk about it. Let's work it out, because I know, or I have received now for 10 years. It wasn't always this way, but I received now, okay, she does love me with sincerity. So let's kind of pivot in the kind of the sales world. They have this thing called, we're talking about feelings, like, feel, felt, found.
Okay.
So, you would say, like, to an objection. Objection is basically literally a unanswered question.
Okay.
But let's say you didn't like coffee, which you don't like coffee.
Correct.
So I would say, Jen, I completely understand how you feel. In fact, when I first started drinking coffee, I felt the same way. But what I found is that the jolt I get in the morning far outweighs the smell or the bitter taste, and so I can get over it.
Okay.
So it's just a way to get on the same level or the same page with your prospect of the. And I'm not trying to say make your spouse your sales
like
prospects.
Try to take one over on them.
But the point is that when you have objections, or when there's things in your marriage or things in your relationship where you're not seeing eye to eye, the goal is to get on the same page. The goal is to create that rapport. To say, okay, am I hearing this correctly? Did I get that right? And that's something that I learned in some training. That rapport isn't, hey, how you doing today? I like the Bears too. But rapport is saying, oh, okay, so you want this? Okay, did I hear that right? You want it at this time? Okay, great. I got that right. It's making sure that we're on the same page.
Right. And it really comes down to not just communicating logistics or things. It's actually listening and trying to communicate to understand the other person, which we say a lot of the times. Are you listening to understand, or are you listening to have your response? Correct.
And I think what I want you guys to take away from this conversation, if you're watching or if you're listening, is that number one, what helped was that they were not shouting.
100%.
And even though they weren't shouting, they still wasn't getting anywhere at first.
Right.
So how much worse would the conversation have been if voices were raised and, elevated and was getting hot and heated?
Right.
And so that makes it even worse. I want you to take away that I need to listen. I need to gain understanding. I need to try to understand why this person is saying this, why they're acting this particular way, where this is coming from, and really get to the root and be vulnerable and then be patient to listen to what they have to say.
Right. I noticed the whole time it was respectful communication, even if they were hearing things that they didn't like. They were still calm. They weren't getting, frustrated. But at least they didn't show too much outwardly.
Right.
So, and they allowed each other to speak. I know you mentioned that they coached them on, let's not interrupt the other person. Let's let them have their time to talk and then respond. So it was very back and forth, very calm. And like you said, they weren't getting too far in the beginning, but when they added that additional element in, they really started to get somewhere. Even if they may not be able to make it work,
right?
They were understanding. Why it wasn't
working. Like, oh, okay,
right.
These are some things I was responding this way because I hadn't worked that out in my past.
Right.
That's my fault.
Right.
I also want to give you this. We want to give you this of how to have success. One of the ways you can have success in understanding is, okay, what would it take for this to change?
Okay.
Kind of going back to the sales world.
Yeah.
Let's say you're looking for a car or a house, and you may say, oh, this costs too much. It's probably something you would say.
Yep. I don't want to pay that much.
Or I don't like it. Okay. What don't you like? Is it the color? Is it the price? Yeah. There it is. Okay. It's price. So the objection is just basically an unanswered question. Again. Okay. So, well, do you see the value in this?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she does see the value. Okay. Well, great. So you see the value and this would enhance your life. Great. So what would need to change then?
The price. That's how I actually really did my car before. But anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
So if somehow the price changed, you would buy the car today.
Correct.
Absolutely. And then it would be, what's that number?
Right.
Anyway, so we go back and forth. So it's like, what needs to change in order for you to trust me again? What needs to change in order for you to feel loved?
Yeah.
What needs to change in order for you to feel respected? What needs to change in order for us to accomplish this? That's a question you need to ask one another to get progress in your relationship.
Yeah, that's such a powerful question, right? To ask your partner what needs to change. And then in this case, they're dating. So they're still determining if they want to marry each other.
Right.
So what needs to change may not be something they're willing to change.
Right.
If you're already married to somebody and they're saying, this needs to change in order for such and such to happen, that's something you really need to look at because you're in a covenant relationship with that person, and prayerfully, God is in the center of that, and you can bring it to him and allow him to work that out between you two as well.
Yeah. That answer requires humility. It requires a death to self. Paul talks about how, every day I got to decrease and the Holy Spirit to increase. Yeah. And so again, you may not like that answer of what needs to change in order for this to happen, but really taking that in, letting that person speak, letting them tell you late on the line, like, hey, I need you to listen. I need you to put a password on your phone, or I need this person to be cut off, or I need this app to be deleted, whatever it is, talk about those things and get through it so that on the other side, you have the results you want.
Because you may not like what they're telling you. You may not like to hear that, but that's so crucial for you to know. Because without knowing that, you're never going to get over that conflict, or you're never going to push beyond that. So you may not like to hear it, but it's something you need to hear.
100%. So thank you guys for kind of walking through that with us today. And it was a little bit of a weird kind of a podcast, but it was a good one, I hope.
Yeah, I like it.
Let us know what you thought about it. If you hated it, we're like, don't do that again, Terrell. Or if you got something from so put the comments below, let us know, what are some things you think are fundamental, or like, hey, this needs to happen in order for this to happen? Let us know that. You can always email us hi@oakhavencompany.com, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate those particular things. So again, remember that you have your podcast, not your podcast, but your playlist. Playing with me
on YouTube. Check it out. Give me some likes. Let me know what you like. It's brand new, so I'm trying some different content out, but it will be all about planning it out, which will lead to our planner coming out soon. We have a planner coming out soon, a big release. Shh. Yeah. But we're coming soon. The official announcement will be coming up in a few more weeks. By the time this episode airs, hopefully we would have crossed 500 subscribers. So give that video a thumbs up and a subscribe as we make a push towards 1,000. That's the goal for the end of the year. And share it with friends that could benefit from it. Absolutely. Spread the word. Help us out. Make that push for 1,000. 100%. Thank you for every person who's here, who's been with us from day one. Those of you who are new to the community, welcome. We are so excited and so thankful that you are here, and we are excited about this amazing, amazing journey.
Thank you again for listening. We will see you next week. And remember, wisdom builds the house. We'll see you next week.